Earlier, Ferrari used to directly market Marlboro. Okay, so they used to have like it written on the bonnet of the car, and then eventually it got banned. So they went for that whole barcode thing where you scan a barcode and like
You get a Marlboro. Is it?
yeah, that all that happened on the livery. There was a whole code scanner and all. Like people wondered what that is, and they knew okay, it's Marlboro, and even that got banned. Then eventually they went to this whole Mission Winnow thing, which is still there.
Yep.
Right. So somebody is saying that Ferrari wanted to do even more subtle marketing. So they had Charles Leclerc. He is from Monaco. Monaco flag is just white and red. So like that Ferrari brains and all that. Who is this guy, man? Need to start the podcast. Abhinandan, dude.
Yes,
Oh
brother.
ho ho.
I have on the best poops today. I don't know. So
Come on, man. Don't give out. People don't know it's call it. It's secret Formula One collection back there. Anyway, so we are face to face finally after a long time. Why am I like? I still have that habit of like looking
Yeah,
that side and
looking.
all that. I swear it's
yeah,
crazy.
You're looking at the screen.
Yeah, the screen, the
It looks very awkward to see.
it's really awkward. And we didn't have a stand for this mic, so it's like standing right here. Anyway, 1 week to go. Not even 1 week, man. Like four more days to go for the second half of the season, and it's pretty psych. I'm like super excited, man.
This race was super long time, right? We've been pretty much chilling the last 3 weeks.
Yeah. Which is your favorite race generally in calendar?
My favorite race is Monza, right? But I think Spa, because Spa, we got to talk about Spa because Spa is the next race, but I think Spa is kind of somewhere in there
Yeah.
in my top three. But yeah, so the first half has been a crazy season.
It has been. It has been. I mean, we were coming from a craziest season ever in F1, the 2021 season, and the first half of the season, when compared to last year's first half, it's almost there. Obviously the gap between Verstappen and Hamilton was lesser than what it is between Leclerc and Verstappen, but then the excitement is still there. Like every race, as a single piece, if you see, it is so exciting, and like you don't know what's going to happen types.
Yeah. I think one important thing you mentioned was last year was such a high,
Yeah.
right? And this year, it's not been there. Okay, we've not got that high in terms of that animosity between like championship rivals, but we've got that healthy, respectful competition, right?
Yeah.
And yet we've got that every race that we look up to,
Yeah.
because anything can happen every race. Even though we pretty much know that the championship may or may not be decided, that's the thing to debate. But otherwise, yeah. But we know every race is something to look out for.
Yeah.
The regulations have probably clicked to a certain extent, at least.
Yeah.
For
Yeah, I
me.
think that basically between Verstappen and Hamilton, the rivalry was, it was coming out as a rivalry and like a fight kind of a thing, almost like two gang members
Yeah.
fighting it out, elbows out. But when it comes to Leclerc and Verstappen, although like the rivalry has not been like, super intense off field of the track, but then when it comes to on track action, it's a different kind of high. And the thing is, no, Verstappen took Hamilton kind of by surprise in so many of those corners, so many of those overtakes, so many of those wins. And Hamilton kind of didn't like it because nobody has done that to him so much. Maybe Rosberg, but then the rivalry between Charles and Max, it goes way back to their karting days.
Correct.
And it's been, like they know each other's racing styles, and it's like
They've had many racing incidents.
incidents like
Yeah.
like that in Indian mythology. They have the story of Karan Arjun, right?
Yeah.
Like how both of them were warriors, and one was brought up in a decent kind of family, had racing background. The other one had like sad kind of a thing and stuff like that. So yeah, that's a parallel that I like to draw here. But yeah, it has been fun.
But I think as a Ferrari fan, I'm definitely not a Ferrari fan, right?
Come
That
on,
is the
man.
biggest.
You don't have to like say it outright.
Even though I'm wearing a Scuderia Ferrari watch,
Give it to me.
you please take this watch. Thank you so much. All the best for the rest of the season.
Thank you so much. I love it.
But I think seeing you, obviously I'm not a Ferrari fan, but seeing you,
It hurts as soon as I wore this watch.
I think that's a strategy mistake.
Oh, apply cold water.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But I think seeing you in the pain, right, as a
Yeah.
Ferrari fan, where is the limit, right? And what is your assessment? I mean, clearly, none of us had an idea that Ferrari would kind of come in this season. We all thought, okay, chalo, it's going to be Red Bull, it's going to be Mercedes again, probably.
yeah,
There was a point before the pre-season or before the season that there was zero expectations.
Yeah.
And somewhere in middle, the expectations shot up to like 100,000 or 1,000,000, right?
Yeah.
On that scale. And then it just came down crashing.
yeah. And then I think Spain happened,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's basically they won the opener and they won it like in emphatic way, like 1-2, right? I mean, and the way it went on for Red Bull that day was nothing short of pain for Red Bull fans. Like both the cars out, Bahrain that we're talking about. So naturally, everyone's instinct was like, hey, Ferrari is back. But little did we know that the season would take us through such roller coasters, like such one up and so many downs, like the roller coaster that goes underground and is still not coming up,
But to be fair to drivers, what is your assessment of drivers? I mean, leave all of the other stuff right out. But what is your assessment of drivers being a Ferrari fan?
Being a Ferrari fan, I feel that Leclerc has been the second best driver this season, no doubt. Okay. Yeah, definitely there was that mistake in France and Imola, but then he definitely has done his job rest of the season. Like if you look at it, if you talk about the best driver of the season, according to me, definitely Max Verstappen. And like the whole world will say it, right? I mean, he's been in incredible form. But if you look at it, he also made a couple of mistakes. One in Spain because of gust of wind, he went off, and the second one in the last race, Hungary, and both the races he actually went on to win. Like that was the surprise. But he did make some very minor errors. But the thing that he has learned over the time is how to get that damage limitations. Sometimes your car might be totally wrecked, but still, in spite of that, how to get maximum points as possible.
Yeah.
So I feel that job is like, for example, Silverstone was the best example where his car got some really bad hit. I'm pretty sure Ferrari would have told retire the car and stuff like that, and Leclerc could have gone home. But that didn't happen for Max.
But I saw a meme today itself.
Okay.
And I think that kind of encapsulates what is the exact situation at Ferrari versus what is at Red Bull. So in that meme, I don't know who are the characters, but it seems like one character is carrying the other, right? In which case, in the Red Bull story, Red Bull is carrying Verstappen in their arms.
Yeah.
Right? And in the following subsequent picture,
Leclerc
is actually carrying Ferrari, right? And I think that clearly encapsulates what it is, which is that Max has had 2 DNFs. Ferrari also has had DNFs. So say Leclerc also has like two DNFs and maybe those 1-2 mistakes. But they've had the similar kind of DNFs, right? But I think as an organization, Red Bull has not made a step wrong from their side.
Right.
But if you see Ferrari, they've had the same DNFs, but a hell lot of errors, right? And
I think it's very similar to the days of Sachin Tendulkar when he was in the team, right? I mean, the whole batting used to be carried out by one guy only. Like there was no batsman.
Correct.
Okay, and that was so heartbreaking to watch because here is a guy of like crazy talent, caliber, etc. But then he has to carry the whole burden of Team India and the whole billion population that's like looking at him and crying. In this case, it is Ferrari and Ferrari fans who are like crying because Tifosi is like the biggest fan club out there, similar to Manchester United for football.
But there's so much talk about Leclerc, but I think somewhere Sainz may or may not have stepped up, right? Even though he's done well for Ferrari, he's not at that point where you can kind of put him under the same umbrella of saying, hey, look, Charles is winning against Verstappen. We're kind of comparing and talking about Charles, Verstappen, but we're nowhere getting in either Sergio Perez or Carlos Sainz. So there is somewhere a clear number to kind of spot that Sainz has been, and that's definitely not helped Ferrari because they are Mercedes is almost near them, right? In terms of
just
the championship.
30 points behind them.
Yeah.
Correct.
So I mean, the way we'll eventually speak about Mercedes, but
I somehow have this call me a fool, but I have this like a silver lining about Ferrari that they might do slightly better than what they did in the first half of the season. I mean, like technically 60% of the season. It's like more than half a season is over right now. Some of Ferrari I feel will do better because last year also they were behind McLaren by first half, and then in the second half, once Monza got over, which was like peak McLaren, 1-2 they got. After that was the time where Ferrari kept consistent actually, and McLaren deteriorated. Their performance went off. Like Tanneric's fall started somewhere after Monza, so they really did well. And Carlos did like better than Leclerc last season. He ended up like ahead of him. And I feel like you said about Perez and Carlos, right? Somehow they haven't stepped up as much as the other drivers, their counterparts, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that definitely is there. And Carlos's initial drives were less better than the later drives. I feel like those two DNFs that he had in, I think, Imola and
the engine blew up.
Imola and Australia. No, not the
Was
engine
it
blow.
Hungary?
Imola and Australia. He went off to gravel.
Oh
He
yes,
went out
but
to
one
gravel.
was him. One was Ricardo hitting him also.
Yeah, that was in Australia. Yeah, and the sad one was in Austria when we finally thought we'll see a Ferrari 1-2. He was about to overtake Max Verstappen, and it didn't happen. No. And actually, he has improved as a teammate, I feel like. So there might be people who say that we rate Sergio as a teammate better than Carlos, but I still feel that Carlos can improve better in the second season than Sergio. I have that feeling. I might be wrong, but I still feel that because slowly he started getting hang of the car.
Yep.
And he's not as far from Leclerc as Perez is from Max. And coming to the change in the form that you see, I feel Mercedes they're just doing well, right?
I mean, it's interesting because everyone had that expectation of Mercedes because last few years they've been dominating, and then suddenly when we saw a dip, it was like hugely concerning. I remember Hamilton complaining, saying that this car is undrivable. At one point, he even wanted to retire the car in one of those races. You remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the purposing. I don't know for why did Mercedes have such horrible purposing, but I think from there, and I think we have these conversations offline also, continuously saying, and we always get to the point that the organization, right? The way the organization is structured.
Yeah.
And even if you see Toto's interviews, he says people should not kind of get lax, right? Even though we keep winning world championship, you should not become lazy and you should not become we've already won, right?
Yeah.
The way he says is that they always have to keep pushing. If you won 7 also, you have to push for the 8th. And I think that commitment in an organization is very difficult, and no wonder we're seeing the fight back that we saw, right? Imagine if you win 6 world championships and then your boss is pushing you to the limit to win the 7th, right?
Yeah.
And there's no motivation, obviously. Like, I mean, no greater motivation. It's like, okay, we've
Yeah.
been winning for past 6 years. We don't need to win. I mean, they can just calm down and say, hey,
Yeah.
we are on the top of the table. But
So,
Yeah.
on that note, no, actually, I was listening to this interview of Lewis Hamilton, which was given, I feel, before Silverstone. And somebody asked him, like, how is the team taking it? Because after 8 successful seasons, and suddenly, you guys are like not able to perform as good as like the previous years. So he actually told that, some of the guys, they literally joined in 2014, the Mercedes team. So all they've seen is only success. They've not seen failure like in their professional career. And for the first time when they're actually seeing, the cars not being able to perform and not being up there, Ferrari or Red Bull, it was a crazy experience. Luckily, there were team members who are there for like 20 years, who've been part of that Mercedes team in some different form, etc., like Brown Mercedes, etc. They were the ones who have gone through that phase, and they had the maturity to take the team through it, and they are getting back, man. Like,
yeah,
they're
but I
doing.
think in all of this, right, George Russell flies under the radar. Right?
Yeah.
He's performing consistently, and I think they're performing as a team. Russell or Hamilton, right?
Yeah.
I've got great respect for Hamilton because we've obviously kept talking about the car. He had like a most dominant car in the last 6 years or 7 years.
Yeah.
But here, with that stupid car that they have, he's still pushing the car, and that's where we actually see, like, people say, like, Hamilton has been performing in the last 15 years ish, right?
Yeah.
That's where him as a driver is coming out. He's still pushing that stupid soapbox of a car, right? Which is purposing, which has all the issues, still getting it to the line. They're still chasing Ferrari, right?
Yeah.
Even though they might say that, no, we are very far from Ferrari and Mercedes.
But I think,
Yeah, they still have it.
yeah, I mean, from a second a lap to almost, cutting it short to a few tenths is like insane. The way they are looking at aerodynamics, and
Yep.
I think lately they had also introduced something on the nose of the W13 just before
Yeah.
Hungary, and those things are actually paying off the dividends. I don't know how. Like, nobody can tell how much each team logs when compared to the other. Like,
Right.
does Ferrari spend more time in the garage or Mercedes? Maybe Ferrari is spending most time. You never know.
Yeah.
But the kind of results that we're seeing at Mercedes, we have been seeing it.
Yep.
Incredible, right? I mean, they are a very well-oiled machinery. That's it.
I think I'm not surprised, right? I'm not surprised either by Mercedes. I'm not surprised either by Red Bull, right? Because Max has not put one foot wrong, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's definitely put a bit of foot wrong, saying he spun off, but he's come back so strong,
Yeah.
and I don't think anyone from that point would have still come back. With
Yeah.
Max being Max and Red Bull being Red Bull. Like, suddenly now they have started to improve like how Mercedes used to be, right, last year.
Yeah.
And they've started to make sure that they're always on the top. They don't make mistakes from their own side.
Yeah.
Right. And I think
That's true.
somewhere Red Bull is not talked about much this season because they are somewhere way above the rest.
Yeah.
And we pretty much know that, okay, they've cemented the first place. It's all about the second place, the third place, and then there is a whole midfield.
Correct.
Right
Yeah.
after that.
They say, right, there is this, then there is like 50 feet of shit, and then there are other teams. It's literally like that.
And then there is 100 more feet of shit, and then there is Williams and
Yeah.
Aston Martin.
Yeah. I think Williams should be higher than Aston Martin, man. I mean, Aston Martin is like royal fuck up. I see and literally feel very like sad for Vettel. Yeah. So that was about the top three teams. That's there, and I think going forward it's going to be like pretty fun because the rate at which Mercedes is growing, they have been growing faster than Red Bull. Actually, if you look at it, because Sergio is not performing at Max's level.
Yep.
And
our Helmut Marko also said, right? Perez is back somewhere.
he's on vacation. I mean, like Helmut Marko is like Michael Scott. He just doesn't have any filter. He just says whatever comes to his mouth, and
And Gunther is a sasta copy of Helmut Marko.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting because Mick Schumacher, and obviously all credits to Haas, we're talking about midfield. Haas has suddenly done very well,
Yeah.
right? Apart from Alpine doing well, McLaren is somewhere in the shit somewhere, only being carried by Lando Norris.
Yeah.
But Mick Schumacher recent interview I've seen, and he was saying that Gunther does not have a filter, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's put it very diplomatically, but you can see the tension between those guys, right? And probably could play out in the driver market, right? This whole stuff. Pretty interesting what's happening in the driver market also.
Yeah. Also, like speaking about Haas in general, right? They have been very, very erratic so far. In the first race, they were somewhere there. Second race, they were somewhere here. And Mick Schumacher's performance in the starting bit was so bad, especially like thrashing the car 2 times completely in Jeddah and Monaco. It was like something really bad. But then we are slowly seeing some bits of brilliance from them also. But again, it's not very consistent. So let's see what happens in the second part of the season.
And I think it's so difficult to single out one single team from the midfield because of what you said, right? Which is that there is lack of consistency.
Yeah.
So if you say what is the top team, you can obviously say Red Bull because they're consistent, right? In the midfield, none of the teams are consistent. Like they perform one race, and the next race they're down, right? Even for example, Lando Norris for McLaren, one race the car itself is not able to perform. Right?
Yeah, I think that's why they're like best of the rest, right? So that is like a given for them that they'll not perform as good in all the races. So whatever is possible, they perform, and like right now, best of the rest is definitely Alpine.
Yeah,
like the way they've picked up since Baku, especially.
Yeah,
and Fernando is in some other level.
Yeah, he's some other level in.
Yeah, in so many ways, he's in some other level. But I definitely feel like Fernando should have, picked up much more points than he has right now. Especially, races like Canada, where the strategy was kind of didn't help him at all. And even Hungary, both the Alpines were on hard tires, similar to Ferrari.
Yeah.
Strategy screwed them, yet they scored points. So they've been doing great, but the team is not doing that great. So moving to the whole Alpine controversy, like what do you think of, like what impression does it give you? Like suppose you are a driver, okay, for example, you're Danny Rick, you want to go back to, you are forced to go back, you don't have anything, okay, you have a seat in Alpine, you want it or not. What will you think? Like you will take it? Or you will take it with a pinch of salt?
Yeah, I'll take it with a pinch of salt because what clearly is intriguing to me is that in any organization, right, there is a point which anyone wants to stay back. Say for example, Mercedes or Red Bull. It's not that their drivers are trying to run away from their organization, right?
Yeah.
Everyone wants to stay back because the organization is such a great organization. But if you see Alpine, it's like everyone wants to run away.
Yeah.
Including Oscar Piastri. Imagine you have the fastest car pretty much on the grid. But still you're like, screw this, I'm not going to stay with you guys. Yeah. I am going. Right?
Fastest available car, you mean?
Yeah, fastest available car in the grid. So I don't know, like what. Something is clearly wrong. I mean, Ocon is there because he is not going to get seat anywhere if not for that. But everyone's just deserting it and running off.
I feel like from the time Cyril left Alpine, right? I don't know why did Cyril leave. Like it was not even disclosed why.
Yeah.
Suddenly he departed. 1 year after Danny Rick was
kicked out.
Kicked out.
No,
I mean
he left.
Left. Yeah, I mean, nobody knows, and the whole Renault name changed to Alpine. Obviously, like, it's all the money dynamics that happened and all, right? But then, I believe there's a lot of politics and a lot of shit that's going on, and Alonso knows.
And Alonso also played it.
He also played it, and he gave back, like, equally. I feel like Alonso is, although, okay, he might be a terrific politician, that's for sure. He knows to play the smart game, and he knows to give like poetic justice to people. But I don't think he's doing justice to his career. I mean, his third title, he'll still be fighting in 2085. Because, like, come on, man.
He'll be playing Grandpa Series.
Yeah.
But if I were to ask you your prediction, who's going to come to Alpine 2023? Who's going to go to McLaren? Right? Who's going to be in Haas? Driver lineups.
Yeah, I believe Piastri will come to McLaren. Okay. And Haas, I believe K-Mag will anyway be there. And I think this guy is going to stay. Mick is also going to stay in Haas. But when it comes to Alpine, I slightly doubt if Taneric. So the thing, what is going on in the minds of Alpine people is that definitely, Oscar Piastri gave them. He gave a golden handshake to McLaren, but then and they were just left with their hand. I don't know what to say, but it was a like very embarrassing situation. They're taking them to court and some 21 million lawsuit and shit like that. But I feel for them to like pick up Taneric, right? It's not a very straightforward decision because if you look at his performance, it has been so bad. I mean, like he has scored 21 points in like 12 races. It is little sad, right? If I'm like Alpine CEO, obviously I'll also doubt like, should I hire this guy? Like, what is the guarantee that he'll star out?
It's an interesting thing. Apparently, when Danny Rick left Alpine, the guy was pissed off. It seems rumored was Luca Di Mio. I don't know how to pronounce it. Luca Di Mio.
Okay.
Who was the CEO of Alpine. He got pissed because Ricardo left. Because I think Ricardo was billing them some 20 million per year.
Yeah.
Right. And he's like, boss, we gave you everything and you slightly went off from us within just 2 years. Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he will accept, but I think they're in a situation where from what all he says, I have 14 drivers calling me and all. Otmar.
Yeah.
They're in a situation where they have very few people that they have to beg and take because they need a leader.
Narayan Karthik and Mahavir Raghunathan will be calling. Babu, Otmar? मेरे को वोट मार.
I think, but still, they need a leader for the group, and I don't know. I don't think there's anyone better as a leader for the group than Daniel for now.
Yeah,
they cannot get Mick because Mick is still rookie.
Yeah,
and Ocon can't be leader of this thing. I don't know anyone else. Maybe Nico Hülkenberg, but he's also off F1 for a while. So. I think their best shot is Daniel. Schumacher might go to Williams.
Might make Schumacher to Williams. I don't think so.
Which other is there? Haas?
Alpha.
I think Alpha will stay. I mean, they have not done something.
Joe has done. I feel Joe has performed better than Mick this season.
Which other places open in the grid?
That's it. Aston was there, which is filled.
Alpine.
That's it. Williams, Haas. I think he will stay here. See, I feel like if Carlos does well with Ferrari, which I think he will do, he'll do decently well. Okay. He will definitely, like 2024, he will be there till 24.
Yeah.
But post that, you never know how Carlos Sainz will perform and what will he be like beyond his prime and things like that. If he doesn't perform well, then they always have Mick Schumacher because although he might not be a better driver than Carlos, you never know. He always has that Schumacher name to push him forward, right? I mean, that definitely is there. But to be able to back that seat, if he does not perform well in Haas right now, then it's not worth it.
What if they sit out Mick Schumacher? Haas will say, no, I don't want. I will take Giovinazzi. Ferrari says, you sit with us as a reserve driver and we will place you in Alpha next year instead of Joe. That could be a scenario.
But why would they give Giovinazzi? Like, Antonio is jobless. They're happy to see him jobless.
Yeah, but there is the tension between that. I don't know that maybe Mick is not so comfortable to push one more season with us and especially with Gunther. Maybe. I don't know. But Ricardo goes to Alpine. That's 100% sure. From my end, my guess.
They should, I think, Alpine should hire a driver called Liebe. He'll become Alpine Liebe. Then that'll be very sweet.
But the Liebe guy will have some sourness in them, which they will also not know.
Yeah.
And one fine day, he will scoot.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good. We're having good races, right? A lot of good direction. As F1 itself, they go in a good direction in terms of sustainability. It's a huge talk about sustainability now.
Yeah.
Because why not? People are like, bro, enough of this shit, enough of you guys polluting. Even though the race fuel is just 1% of.
Exactly, like 1%, and the transportation and like all these teams bringing their huge containers and shit like that. That itself is like insane amount of energy. Like I feel it's just the marketing front.
Yeah.
Right? In the end, it will take some time for everything to become electrical, right? So I don't think it's gonna happen that soon. Although they say that hey, electric cars are around the corner, but
Yeah.
you know that like fuel cars go faster than electric cars as of now. It has not evolved beyond that. So yeah, that's something to look out for.
Yeah, but I think there's a statement that came out from that guy, right? The FIA guy, the 2026 regulations,
Huh.
that it's about greener fuel, right? And more high-powered engine, like high-powered electric engines, right? In terms of the hybrid part. So yeah, it's good. Sustainability is a good direction that they're going, right? Formula One.
Yeah.
And will it result in racing, better racing, more, or is this just a one-off season, right, that we're seeing, and suddenly things slowly come back because people have creative ways to find their way around rules, right?
Yeah, always.
So
like Ferrari used to market Marlboro and all the cigarette brands. So I saw this meme where they said that earlier Ferrari used to directly market Marlboro. Okay, so they used to have like it written on the bonnet of the car, and then eventually it got banned. So they went for that whole barcode thing where you scan a barcode and like
you get a Marlboro. Is it?
Yeah, that all that happened on the livery. There was a whole code scanner and all. Like people wondered what that is, and they knew it's Marlboro, and even that got banned. Then eventually they went to this whole Mission Winnow thing, which is still there.
Yep.
Right. So somebody is saying that Ferrari wanted to do even more subtle marketing. So they had Charles Leclerc. He is from Monaco. Monaco flag is just white and red. So like that Ferrari brains and all that. So next level stuff. So anything to market these things. So yeah, I mean, there's always way around for things, and I feel like one big news, like when you told about like way around things, I was just looking at Aston Martin, the kind of stuff they've been doing. Like they became green Red Bull suddenly. Like 2-3 years ago, they were pink Mercedes, and then suddenly, like before the summer break, they got some different kind of DRS. But apparently, people are saying that is an innovation. Like out of all the crap that they did, that kind of like it's on edge of the rules. So let's see what they'll do. But definitely one thing they have done is like they have
got Alonso.
They got Alonso and they've buried Sebastian Vettel, which is like saddest news of the season, which Seb is retiring. I mean, like Seb's retirement was the domino that led to all these crazy things happening. All the F1 silly season. I feel he'll be missed, man. Like F1 will definitely miss Vettel. So there are like some fan theories that are saying that like you should bring in Vettel as you should fire Matteo Binotto and bring in Vettel as team principal, and finally he'll make Charles win the championship.
Yeah, that would be an interesting thing.
Yeah, there are so many fan theories like that, right? I mean, which are obviously just theories and rumors and yeah. So
but I think it's just so near to racing, right? In a week's time.
Yeah.
No, in 3-4 days time at Spa. An interesting. What do you think? Spa. It's going to be raining apparently on Saturday and Sunday.
You remember last year, we used to wait for rains. Like, it used to be like, yay, rain race. It's going to be amazing. And then Spa happened. The worst race. Like, they did that.
2 laps or 3
Yeah.
laps, right?
They did like rally, like slowly, and they went, and that's it. George Russell came off second. So, that was.
It was like our school escorts.
Okay, that doesn't sound right, but okay. So, we used to have. Okay, for audience sake, basically we used to have this
Sports meet.
like a sports meet kind of a thing where a convoy would come and like there would be march past and procession. So there were like this bunch of motorcyclists who would just go around slowly, like leading the convoy. So like
Followed by a head motorcyclist who was on a Royal Enfield,
yeah,
which is the equivalent of a safety car.
yeah, equivalent of safety car, exactly. And that would mostly be the institute captain and things like that. But then, for some strange reason, those bikes used to be called as escorts. I mean, it sounds so wrong, but yeah, it was like the slow convoy, and that's what happened in Spa last year. It was boring, and I hope that doesn't happen because Spa is one race that most fans really look forward to, and it is the most loved race of all. Probably Spa, then Monza, and for some reason even Monaco is like very loved. Although it's
only by the rich people, but by the poor people.
No. Actually, because it has such rich history, right?
Yeah.
Monaco, and like I get it. It's not racing, but I mean it's not like pure racing, but it's some kind of ritual that happens every year type of thing. Okay, like free points. But there are some teams that give away those free points to other teams.
Yeah.
So I understand the whole hype and also why it's there. But the thing that truly lives up to hype is probably, our Brazil is definitely one of the amazing races. Like what a circuit that is. And then Monza and Spa. So these three are like even my top favorite.
But it's so sad that we might not have Spa on the calendar next year because the contract is ending. F1 wants to expand to more countries, newer races. Maybe the axe will fall on Spa. Also considering that they have had a 20 million worth renovation. Right? They've extended Rouge. Sad incidents have happened there. Anton Hubert sadly passed away during
a couple of years ago. Yeah,
during the F2 race. So they've actually extended the Rouge runaway area. Right,
that's good. There's a safety there.
Yeah, so 20 million just for one single race. Not sure how it's going to be impactful, but let's just hope that, assuming this is the last Spa race, should be a good one.
Yeah,
and not 2 laps.
Yeah, we want to see Spartans battling. So I was listening to this podcast by Ross Brawn, who was talking about Michael Schumacher. This is a Beyond the Grid podcast which came out like a couple of years ago. He was saying that in the off season, Michael Schumacher is a very private person. So he likes to go to US because US people didn't recognize him much. Europe, wherever he went, he was just surrounded by people, like everybody knew him. Such a great figure, right? But now, because of all this drive to survive and, the whole liberty media, they've understood that US is the market to tap. So I feel they have somehow felt that, we need to commercialize the whole. Obviously, they might be looking at data and, whatever gives them more return of investment, things like that. That's why they're getting all these street circuits and, like Miami. I didn't enjoy
Vegas, Miami.
Yeah. I mean, see, Miami, like TV direction was bad. The racetrack was okay. Fake water. And then so many like random celebrities that on the track. Martin Brundle's track walk. Oh my God, that is epic.
The epic moment. Yeah. Shaq coming in the Buffalo. What is that? I don't know.
Yeah, that was
big car.
Yeah, that was in Kota last year. That was Texas. Yeah.
Oh. Was it? Oh.
It was.
Oh yeah, this year was that they'd come to the stadium, right? And then.
Yeah, they got those fake baseball helmets.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Fish. Yeah.
Not baseball. Sorry, I think
Some
football.
NFL helmets.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean it's changed a lot now, and they want to make it a lot more commercial. So I feel like Europe had that pure F1 racing in the beginning, and then now it's becoming a little commercial. And I get it, like new fans coming in different places and things like that. But yeah, Spa should not go. End of it. Because what a beautiful circuit, right? I mean, it's the natural beauties. Like my dream is to literally sit in that Rouge section, and like you can see the whole track from there. Like from the first turn where the drivers turn, you can just see them zooming into you, right? I mean, like wow, that is my dream. Like
in fact, I was thinking this year I might go, right? Britain, and remember I told you Spa.
You did.
There was this stand number 4 or something, which is after Rouge.
Yeah.
And it has a big screen. It has like a covering on top, right? And you can actually see the Rouge section.
I really don't care about covering, man. Like
there's a one without covering, one with covering. I think one without covering was 3, or one with covering was 4 or something. But yeah, it's an amazing circuit.
I think 23 we should do it. Spa, definitely. It's 1 year from now.
Yeah.
Let's manifest.
I'm currently manifesting going to a spa here in Bengaluru.
I hope you get a happy ending at the spa. Okay, but then I feel like spa going will be a sad thing, but such an amazing track, right? Okay, he's still stuck at happy ending, but
God.
Yeah, I feel I hope all the fans get a happy ending this year at Spa.
Okay. Yeah. Let's hope for the best.
All F1 fans.
And it's a triple.
It's a triple header.
Triple header. Yeah. So
that is going to be crazy. So lot of either lot of fun or lot of pain ahead.
Yeah.
So it'll be good to see. I just hope if Ferrari. It's okay, man. You screw up strategy also, but don't fuck up reliabilities. Actually, don't screw up strategy, please. Like it's enough. So maybe like they're crumbling under pressure, kind of a thing. I feel like that's one thing. Maybe they're like getting beaten after races. Like Matt Binotto will come with one stick and like whip their asses, like, hey, what are you doing? You'll not get food today. Things like that. So they're like scared of all that shit.
Oh God! For some reason, I just played in my head that Matthew Binotto was abusing them in Hindi or something. Okay. Yeah.
अरे चार्ल्स को इतना जल्दी क्यों बुलाया बड़े?
One time telling Binotto sir.
It'll be like Wasepur. Like not a Binotto. Charles will go and tell all strategy. Tumse na ho paega. Yeah, coming to Spa, what a beautiful circuit, and the drone shots itself are like show the beauty of the circuit. 7 kilometers long, has its ups and downs and slow corners and really fast corners, especially the Rouge and Kimmel straight, and followed by I feel the Puhon is one corner, and also Rivage, which are like very fast turns. You get it right or you just slip off and go. So it's like pretty scary also, I feel. Some really feel good moments have happened in the past at Spa. Like for example, I believe Jordan team, when they debuted in 91, Damon Hill was racing for them, and he actually won the race, which is like crazy surprise. Nobody expected Jordan to come. There have been moments like the whole Mark Webber overtaking Alonso on Rouge, which is like one of the most incredible overtake. I feel like
maybe it throws up all uncertain stuff, right?
Yeah, it does.
Like George Russell coming second in Williams.
Yeah, it does. And the one very famous one which we were discussing, one of the most favorite moments of Spa was when Mika Hakkinen actually was trying to overtake Michael Schumacher lap after lap, and Michael kept blocking him off, and he kept going off onto the grass, and then finally there was this point where after Rouge, he saw the Kimmel straight and he realized that hey, there's a back marker, so I think we can overtake. And that moment when Ricardo Zonta was driving in center and Hakkinen went from right and Schumacher from left, and that was like amazing overtake, and I think it's like one of the best overtakes.
Yeah. Especially the view when they show from Ricardo Zonta, right?
Yeah.
When both this is going.
Oh man.
And it was like a split second, and then I literally imagined myself if I was in Zonta's car, and I think exactly what Mika said, that he needed to change his
underpants.
I would have just exactly felt the same. I was like, oh shit, what just happened?
I swear.
But yeah.
Beautiful overtake. And the best part about that is like the straight is ending, then the corner is immediately coming. So like they have to like late brake as late as possible. And I think Mika did a really incredible job. I mean, that is one of the amazing moments. I think one recent incident also happened, which was a very similar overtake, I believe in 2019 or 2020, when I think Gasly and a couple others overtook. And the commentary was like the same, like, is it Hakkinen Schumacher Zonta happening once again and things like that. And it literally was like that. But lovely. I mean, Spa is known for, even Charles Leclerc, he had his first victory, and Michael Schumacher, he has won a record 6 times, right?
Yep.
And a lot of pundits say that even Kimmel, who has won it 4 times, was really one of the amazing racers of Spa. Actually, there is that, it has become this famous reel, right, where there is like a lot of smoke and everyone is slowing down, but Kimmel is like, he didn't stop.
Yeah.
He's going through, that is in
Spa.
That is in Spa. So, Spa, Francorchamps, I think it's going to be
a rocking race that we need to look forward to.
That is that. And what do you think about rest of the season? What do you think is going to be the end, and where are we going to end up?
I'm not a boring guy, disclaimer, but I think Verstappen is going to be first. Ferrari is going to finish second, right? And Mercedes is going to finish a very close third. And everything as predicted as it is. So the direction is already there. We're not going to see any surprises, right? Maybe in the midfield we would see some good action, but ahead, nothing much.
Do you think McLaren will overtake Alpine?
No.
Okay.
Because Ricardo will be moving out. I don't really think he has any point to prove, and it's very short a time.
Even Alonso is moving out. No?
Yeah, but it's very short a time for Ricardo to suddenly get in grips and then suddenly close a gap of 4 tenths.
What if Lando comes first and all?
Yeah, but
that's not gonna happen. Do you think any unexpected podiums? Because like so far,
Gasly.
I don't think so, man.
Yeah.
Because he has like really bad car this year.
Gotifi.
Oh, we actually didn't talk about AlphaTauri. How bad they've been this year, actually.
Yeah, they've just been there. They've been there.
Yeah, they've just been
surviving.
There. Yeah. Gotifi. I feel like talking about Gotifi getting a podium is very similar. It's reminding me of that time when we were talking about last 3 races of 2021, and someone said Mazepin will get a podium. It's like that only. So I don't think.
I think Gotifi is always. He's not the king. He's a king maker.
Yeah, he is. He's the champion maker, man.
Yeah, he's a champion maker.
Yeah, Max Verstappen's secret army. Nicolas Latifi, Michael Masi. So,
but I don't think he's going to be there next year. Gotifi, maybe Nick De Vries or Logan Sargent. Williams.
Do you think there will be a Verstappen and Leclerc crash, like wheel-to-wheel action, and it leads to a crash and some
wheel-to-wheel action? Yes, but crash, I don't think so. Because I think now Verstappen also has gone past that point that he's going to aggressively fight, like how Hamilton, he will 100% push off. I think he still has that aggressiveness, but I think he has a little more calm nerves after that first championship.
Yeah.
Easily, Verstappen keeps car number 1 next year also. That's my. What do you think? What is the
I don't
next
know about next
predictions
year.
of the next current second?
But I
half?
think this year, I believe that in this next 9 races, definitely Verstappen is going to win the championship. But I feel like Leclerc might outscore Verstappen by a few points. But then the lead will obviously still be like 70-ish points. So that is my thing. It's a very crazy gamble that I'm taking right now. And I feel that Mercedes will overtake Ferrari. I believe that. And I feel Alpine will go back and McLaren will come front. Because like they're very close right now also.
Yep.
But I'm saying it from a point of our Alonso, who has not ended things well with Alpine. So that's that. But otherwise, itching to literally watch action this weekend. I mean, it's going to be fun. No weekend plans, only racing and having fun. That's it. Any other thoughts?
Rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors.
Okay, it's no.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Ouch. Okay, 1-0. We'll play best of 3.
Rock, paper, scissors.
2-0.
Rock, paper, scissors.
2-1. No, best of 5. 2-0 actually 1-off. No, we continued.
Why don't you put best of 23?
Okay, no, we're good.
The season is just now started.
Yeah. Strategy will screw up. Oh, I'm wearing this watch. It's fine.
That's why you lost.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Anyway, so that was fun, I believe, like after a long time. Oh wow. This thing kept distracting in between. But anyway, it was a good conversation. I think it was a lot of fun. So yeah guys, please subscribe to our channel and we'll see you next week.
Peace.